So my first year out of law school, Jacob's mom called. He was 8 and he was born with profound disabilities. He had severe seizures, he couldn't walk, he couldn't talk. He was developmentally like a 1-year-old. But he loved people and especially his family. His parents were high school sweethearts. His brother was a high school football star, and he was the child they adored. But he was more than their full-time job. Throughout the 16 years I represented him, he was denied service after service. Services that he needed to be safe and to feel less pain and to reach his God-given potential. His mother would call and we would fix one issue, and then there would be another one in a matter of months. She was so tired and stressed. To me, it seemed unbearable, the burden that she was bearing. And yet, like most every client that I've represented over my 18 years, she didn't let this make her bitter. She would do anything I ever asked for other children. She told Jacob's story publicly. She called lawmakers. She supported other families of children with disabilities. Last year, the Monday after Thanksgiving, the phone rang and Jacob's parents were on the line. Jacob had died in his sleep over Thanksgiving. He was 24. They were sobbing uncontrollably. They were devastated. He was our life, they said. I felt ashamed about how the system had treated this family. And I just said, I'm so sorry that everything was so hard. I wish it hadn't been such a battle to get him what he needed. And his mother said, and I will cherish this always, because of the Tennessee Justice Center, we never felt alone. That made the battle so much easier to bear, and we're grateful for that. She went on to say, if one of those battles made life easier for another little boy, then it was all worth it. My boss and I went to Jacob's funeral thinking it would be a small affair. The church was packed, standing room only. He, unlike Patty and Paula, had been a vital part of his community. His uncomplicated love of life and the Lord had moved so many people. The minister told the story about how every Sunday after church his parents would walk out and he would bury his head on his dad's shoulder. And after years and years of this ritual, one Sunday as a preteen, Jacob jumped out of his dad's arm and kissed the minister full on in the face. The minister talked about the day Jacob was baptized, and because of his disabilities, he was constantly in motion, constantly moving. Every time I ever saw him, he was moving. But when he went to receive the blessing while he was being baptized, he stood still as a stone, his hands folded. The minister said every person in the church was moved by his faith and his family's love. With Jacob in our community, we are stronger. I feel blessed to use my law degree to help end isolation for families like Jacob's, whose illness, disability, and poverty leave them divided from our community.